to Self Love Exodus Live, where Hallie and Quinn, we both show up and discuss what's literally coming up for us as we are on our own Self Love Exodus. And just FYI, we host two things. We host Meditate and Conversate, which over on Haps on Facebook, we can show that flyer. It's every,
we're proud of this
we're proud of this feature. It's every Thursday at 1:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. It's donation based. It's every single week. We show up. We don't care what day it is, whether it's a holiday. We showed up on Thanksgiving. We showed up on like Christmas Eve, like New Year's. We are here for you. It's such an important practice. And then we have our workshop that's coming up. We actually only have 2 more tickets left, and it's happening this upcoming Tuesday. Just remember 420. Root your values. That's the theme. Every single month we do host a self-love workshop. So just FYI, we'll show those flyers up again at the end. That's so cool. All right. So today what's coming up is how everything is a mirror. Everything is a mirror. And what do you feel like we mean by that? Like for people who are like, what do you mean everything is a mirror? Like, how is that true? How can that be true?
Well, it's really what we're kind of saying is that everything that is happening in your life, everything that's happening outside of you is showing you something. It's revealing something about what's happening inside of you. Mm-hmm. And so your relationships and connections, just the kind of like occurrences that are happening in your life, the things that happen, the way that you're working, the jobs that you're having. So they're showing you kind of like where you're at with your self-value, your self-worth, where you're at with your healing, where you're at with your authenticity. And then, so, it's like reflecting something to you, but it's also showing you how you respond to the things that happen is showing you where you're at too with your trust and your faith and your everything. So, our external reality is a reflection of our internal reality.
Yes. Right. So even with that said, you can already start reflecting, like, let's just say there's drama going on, like physically outside of you, right? Is there something inside of you that has some drama or some things that hasn't been, that's been festering and that hasn't been handled, right? Mm-hmm. What are we, like a lot of the ways that people say it too is like, what have you been attracting lately? Like, why is that? How is that revealing what's going on inside of you? Yeah. And so we always reflect on our week, and Hallie had a mirror moment. And you have this very positive perspective when something had occurred in your physical sphere of things. So I'm just going to let you share your story and how it's a mirror for you.
Yeah. So the other day I was out and about, and then I came home, and then I was going to go walk somewhere, go to a meeting by foot. And when I came out, I saw that my car had been hit, and it was, not that bad, but it was on the quarter panel, which is like a place that is really expensive to fix. So I saw it, and I was like,
That's her reaction.
I was like, okay, I'll deal with that when I get back. But it was weird because I was almost expecting it. Like I almost intuitively knew that was going to be happening soon. So I went to my meeting, I came back, I did the insurance thing, filed a claim. It was a hit and run. And so it ended up being a total, but there's so much I can say on this topic because I have had 5 cars in my life. They've all been totaled. And every time one of my cars gets totaled, I've been in it, first of all. And so there's been I've just been to the chiropractor a lot and have had to do a lot of physical repair from whiplash, having whiplash so many times. And so this time I wasn't in the car. Oh, wait, the other thing I want to say about this is that every single time my car has been totaled, it has launched a dramatically new chapter in my life. So something big happens right after that. Or I'm already gearing up for the big thing, and then the car goes away. And then I'm like, okay, now I'm going into this chapter without a car, and I'm living into my next vehicle kind of a thing. And I don't really care about cars that much. It's not like I'm a car person, but I am someone that like, I like for all of the things in my possession to be a reflection of what feels true and good for me.
Mm-hmm.
So anyways, when I got this car, the one that just got totaled, I had this truck before that got totaled. And at that time I was like working all of these jobs, driving all over town, doing all of these things that I didn't really want to be doing. Like my spirit did not want to be doing those things, but I was still in my process of thinking that I had to work for someone else, you know? I hadn't like deconstructed that yet. And so I was like driving all over town. I had a rental, they paid for my rental car for maybe like 5 days. And so I had to just like go to a dealership, get a car really fast. I didn't have any support. I don't really know about cars. I went to a Volkswagen dealership. I was like, sure, that one, I have $12,000. That car's $12,000. I'll just get that one.
Yeah, just
whatever.
Yeah, yeah.
And it never felt like an aligned vehicle for me because it was rushed. And I, you know,
yeah,
for
it was
all of
rushed.
those reasons.
Yeah, like a timeline, the deadline for it.
Exactly.
Yeah, you didn't get to space to just really like think about what kind of car you want. There was no process. You're just
There's
like,
no
okay, I
process.
just got to show up and pick a car.
Exactly.
You know?
So that's been my car for the past 6 years.
Wow.
I swear, since I moved into this apartment, like everything is up leveling.
Yeah, no, I agree. I agree.
So this time I wasn't in the car, so I didn't have injury. And my lifestyle is such that I don't have to drive anywhere because I work for myself and I work from home and I work from a co-working space that I can walk to. I can walk to the grocery store. So I am in literally no rush to get a new vehicle. I'm actually kind of want to live without a car for a little while and just like do bike life. And it just feels really different. And I feel really grateful because I never was connected to that car. And it got taken care of without me having to go through any pain in the ass of trying to sell it. I actually got more for it than what it's actually worth. So it just was like a very, like this, like beautifully taken care of thing. And now I can like really live into what is going to be the right vehicle for the me that I am, you know, am now pretty much.
Look at that. What a great mirror. And like, I like how you are reflecting on like what was going on in your life and like how you were involved in these car accidents before. And this time you weren't involved. It was almost like, hey, like you're good at where you're at. The universe is just going to be, I'm just going to remove this because this car is actually not for you.
It's not for you anymore.
It's not for you. And you're all about aligning, like doing things that are aligned with you, even moving to this space. I mean, just how that happened. I mean, there's just so many things. And so would you say you would not have that kind of perspective if it wasn't for your own personal journey of just continuing to enhance your healing, your self-love, like your environments, like your inner self?
Yeah. And I'm so about like flow with what is, be with what is, like all changes for the better. Everything is here for you. Everything is here to support you. Don't judge things as good, bad, right, and wrong. Just like trust what's happening. Trust that what's happening is for your highest good. So that's a core value of mine, right? Speaking of core values, that's something that I've anchored into myself is to really trust what's happening. So then when things happen, that's kind of like, oh man, someone hit my car. I'm like, I trust this. This is a higher plan thing.
So I just want to highlight that that's the benefits of being on the self-love journey and doing consistent work to continuously healing yourself, because you're inviting these life-changing perspectives that's going to save you from continuing to feeling the victim mindset, feeling the mindset where you just feel just overwhelmed, like, why the fuck is this happening to me? I'm already going through so much, like really, 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 and like going into this like, you know, like you're growing just more fire and just more sadness and bitterness within yourself, versus when you're continuously healing and releasing and releasing. Like, see, this takes such consistent work. Like, it's no joke. Like, it takes consistent work for you to turn on your self-love warrior hat and be like, I am going to endure this pain and actually let me just do something healthy for myself. Let me just release in a healthy way. Like, That is what it takes. And thus why, like, as you hear Hallie speak, you're just like, okay, I feel that, but God, that's so hard to encompass. So that's just an example of like what's possible for you to really feel that like everything that happens is a mirror. So you can be grateful that, hey, thank you for showing me what I need to work on inside of here. Like, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Because you're going to continuously see things happening for you in that way, because you're continuously seeing a way to thank that event. Like, okay, like how can I just turn this event into something seriously for me? It's a huge perspective shift. Yeah,
it is. I was just on a walk with a friend, a male friend, the other day, and he just went through a recent kind of like heartbreak situation. He really liked this person, and they were dating for about a month, and then she ended up calling things off with him, and he was really, really sad at first. But that situation catapulted him into doing all of these new things for himself. Like he started singing and chanting. He started like walking to work and walking home and walking on his lunch break. And so when I was with him the other day, I was like, wow, his energy is so open and beautiful and bright and lovely. And he was just speaking to how that heartache really was such a blessing in disguise, because it opened him up to like all of these new practices that are truly, truly serving him. So, you know, it's all for us.
It is all for us. And it will suck, right? And see, there's like this enduring part of like going about life, right? Because like, you know, some of us might be like, oh, let me just get rid of that feeling. But really to endure and just lean into something healthy and just like, you know, you will see something else is going to be revealed, because especially when there's like a removal in your life, like a car being removed, a person being removed, you know, like, yes, like endure, grieve, do what you need to do. And it's so awesome that, you know, you can reach out to, you know, maybe someone like you or something like that, but just to hold on to something positive, whether it's a positive person or a positive message or a positive program or something where you can be fed constant reminders of positivity and these perspective shifts. Like, we need all like the helpful messages when we're feeling the pain. So yeah, there's just, that process of like seeing what happened, seeing what feelings come up, enduring it, and then also leaning on something positive, something helpful to encourage you to like hold on. And then you see what else is revealing to you. Oh, wow, ideas of walking, getting back into singing, chanting, like that was obviously probably a part of him already that he hasn't tuned into, or what? Yeah,
it's a new part of him. But, you know, it's like we were saying earlier when we were talking about our core values workshops, we were just planning it, you know, it's like our core values, they're all kind of in there. They're all stored in there somewhere. But as we heal, we get to like reveal another aspect to them, another layer of them, another expression of them.
Totally.
And so like for him, and I'm, you know, he really inspired me. I was like, I want to chant and sing and like have some like support on that. So he sent me some resources. But it's like, yes, it was in him all along, but he's discovering it now due to where he's at on his journey, which is just so cool, because we have this like infinite well of discovery just within ourselves.
Yes.
You know, and it really takes, I like what you said about the removal. Like when something major gets removed that we have some type of identity around or attachment around, you know, and kind of like the bigger of a role it plays in your life, the bigger of like the spaciousness of newness that is being created for the up level.
Yeah. So you can thank the universe for removing the person or removing the item that plays a huge part of your life, right? Donald over on HAPS gave us a high five award. So just wanted to say thank you, thank you, thank you. And hello from, how do you say that? Copenhagen? Welcome. Oh yeah, so let's see. Since she was talking about her car, it gave me a memory about when my car was broken into, right? Like, and it's been broken into a lot, you know, over like the years. But I want to highlight on this instance that was a couple of years ago, where it was in broad daylight. I came back to my car from work, and one side of my car was just all smashed, or maybe it was the back. Yeah, the two back, and they took my makeup bag. That is the only thing that they took. And I'm thinking maybe they thought it was like a wallet or a purse or something like that because it kind of looked like a purse. And immediately my reaction's like, oh, the universe is saying, Quinn, you don't need all that makeup on you, girl. And before this, a friend, now my partner, but a friend at that time was challenging me always with these questions. And he said, what is the makeup for? Who is it for? And that like always stunned me. And I'm like, oh, okay, you know, and then I had to reflect, okay, I started wearing makeup when I was in middle school because I felt like I needed to be accepted, to look attractive so that the boys can like me, so that I can get attention, just so I can fit into this group that I found in middle school, right? And since then, it's been my mask. It's been my face for the longest times. I mean, my pictures from the past will just prove it. So when that happened, I had already started on my self-love journey. And right, you meet people along your journey that will challenge you by these questions to get more into your core value, get more into your inner self, like your true authentic self. And so I can't remember if I was already playing around with not wearing as much makeup, but then that just was always there, right? And then one day,
makeup's gone.
Makeup is gone. Someone broke into my car, took my makeup. And, you know, with something that you're so attached to for a long time as your identity, I think I remember, I remember buying some makeup again, but it was just very like basic stuff. And then eventually, like today, I wear zero makeup. There might be times where I might put on like mascara, but just overall, I do not wear makeup 99.9% of the time. And I'm like really feeling like it just took off this layer, and I'm like, wow, like this is how I really look like, you know, and it challenged me on my self-acceptance that, you know what, this is what I've been given, and
see me as I am.
See me as I am. And I was telling Hallie, I was at the Hive when this happened, so makeup sucks. Yeah, Anastasia, hi. And hi, Amber. Hello, everybody. We're going to read your comment in a little bit, Anastasia. But I remember feeling panicky and anxiety because I'm now being challenged with not wearing makeup. And I was like, let's just try this. And I remember feeling this huge relief and this big, huge moment that people were still treating me the same with or without makeup. And I was just like, wow, I can actually just come as this. Like, who am I really trying to impress?
It was just a story in your mind, right?
Yeah, that I got from when I was young in middle school, that I need makeup in order to fit in, period, to be liked.
And
it's so freeing.
I loved Pila's question for you of like, who is this for, right? Because I remember when you told me that, I was like, oh yeah, because we can't see our own face.
Yes.
Unless we're looking in the mirror. So it's really not for you, you know? It's for everyone else.
That is so crazy. Just got chills when you said that. Yeah, you're not like looking. I mean, but I'm always checking. I was always checking myself to see how I looked. But yeah, like majority of the time, people are looking at it.
People are looking at it.
It's not for me to look at.
It's kind of like if we eat something that feels really good in our body, we feel that. We experience that. That's a felt experience. So that's for us, right? But these things that are like very external that we don't even see, and I think makeup is the greatest example because we literally don't see it unless we're like intentionally looking in the mirror, you know? Not for us.
Not for us. Oh gosh, yeah. So like, and again, right, that perspective wouldn't have been there if I was already practicing something healthy for myself, like almost every damn day. And so again, like inviting that perspective to when something like that happens, right? Especially, I mean, so many of us have been into car accidents, or so many of us have been into like trauma experiences, right? Where something was removed or someone left us, abandonment issues. And it's like, this perspective can help us out when these reoccurring things happen. Like people always say that, where it's like, it's not, what is it? When you start to shift the way that you look at things, everything else changes.